Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is the chart. It's the full moon, 5th of May 2023, set for London at 1834, and it is a lunar eclipse. The word a pulse is not a total lunar eclipse. The reason being, here's the moon, 14 degrees of Scorpio, opposite the sun at 14 degrees of Taurus, and the south node, north node are at 3 degrees. So it's quite wide, is what we call that. Now, there's tension here, absolutely, because it is a full moon, and always there's tension at a full moon. Full moon is always about relationships. And Scorpio, the moon, is ruled by Mars, traditionally. And interesting enough, Mars is at the moment going through Cancer. There it is, quite high. You can't see that in a good night. And it is actually what they call a mutual reception, because it's in the sign of Cancer. So we're aligned, Mars, our actions, caring, nurturing, self-care. It's all about the sign of Cancer. Also, the sign of Cancer, if you think about that crab itself, it does hide. It has got the protective shell, and when it's outgrown that shell, it finds a new place to grow. So growth is indicated here, in my opinion. We have Saturn. It's going through Pisces now, which is very favourable for the water signs. It gives us some form of structure, and it's in a good relationship, a trine. The blue lines of flowing energy still to that south node. The nodes of the moon in Vedic astrology are called Rahu and Ketu, but the nodes of the moon always go backwards through the zodiacs. So this is happening. We're now getting a south node eclipse, and the south node is always about the more mystical energy, especially in terms of the Vedic philosophies. We have Venus, very important in the UK. The chart itself is Libra rising, so there's Venus right at the top of the chart in Gemini. Now, Venus in Gemini, I always think of the Queen Mother because she had that, and she was very good at playing charades. It's very flirty, Gemini, and communicative as well, and being able to voice what we believe in, what we like, our interests, and it is the strongest positive aspect in the whole chart, because here it is in Gemini, and here 27 degrees is Jupiter at 27 degrees in Aries, and fire and air signs get along. Think about that. What does fire need? It needs air in order to be a light. So the belief systems are to do with Jupiter, and then communicating what you truly believe in, what you find faith in, is indicated. And of course, I can't look at this without thinking of the coronation, because the coronation is happening on the 6th of May, the day after. Now, the royal family in this country, UK, have a tradition of celebrating important events at eclipses. Quite extraordinary. And the one chart I want to show you first of all is of our King Charles. Here he is. Notice, here it is. He's got the north node and the moon at 3. The moon's at 0, but that node is at 3 degrees. And at the south, 3 degrees, and then he's got Mercury there. Now, his moon is exalted. That indicates his mother and his relationship with her. The moon loves the sign of Taurus. He's also got this very strong, the rebel, Uranus, the innovative, right opposite Jupiter, exact, the same degree. So, big plans, Jupiter. It's very close to something that we call the galactic centre, and he has, of course, been the prince for most of his life. He is now in his 70s. He's got a good Saturn in Virgo. That describes his stability. I don't know how he is temperamentally, but he's got a very strong dedication, certainly to his faith and obedience and discipline. and patience, I think, is very indicated in his chart. So he also has, here's the sun is in Scorpio at 22 degrees. There it is down here. Interesting. Very close to the wounded healer archetype of Chiron. There it is. So I won't go in too much detail. His Mars is in Sag as well as Jupiter. So I know he has big plans. Big plans. Coming back here again, and I go back in again. So therefore, what happens every time we have an eclipse is a time to go within. It's not a good time to launch anything, apart unless you're the royal family, and also, to watch your mind. There's a lot of course, about mindfulness, being mindful, and I like the tarot, and the swords, of course, very much to do with mental issues, mental dilemmas, and yet the Ace of Swords has actually got, I'm looking at it right now, it shows it today, is actually holding a crown aloft. It's rather lovely symbolism there. And so any negative thought is where the ego takes over. So I would like you to invoke the energies of Jupiter, which is the higher mind. The planet Jupiter is Ganesha in Vedic astrology, and Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, removes all obstacles. We do, however, at Eclipse, and I've advertised my workshop called Healing Your Shadow, Embracing Your True Power. The shadow is also to do with eclipses. It is. And the shadow is what happens. We literally get, we have that darkening of the moon, which actually shows up as a red moon. And most of us have seen that in our lifetime. You might not have seen a solar eclipse because in the UK it's very rare, but you more than likely have seen the wonderful lunar eclipse. So please be aware, Jupiter and Venus are in a very, very good combination. Jupiter takes 12 years to go around all the signs. Venus, it takes only a year to go around all the signs. So that connection of the two of them, I believe, bodes very, very well for this coronation. And the security, I believe, is really important at this time. Huge numbers of police, 11,000 on duty at the coronation. And I'd like us to, whatever your views about the royal family, is a coronation is actually a sacred event, and the king will be anointed. You won't see that. It will be hidden from view. It will be shown, though, Queen Camilla will have the same type of, I don't know exactly, of course, the details, but that application of sacred oil and that dedication very much to Jupiter, the god Zeus, king of the gods. Just think about that. And that's what I would like for all of us to embrace, that whatever makes you feel joyful, that you feel that sense of that crown on your head, whether you're a woman or a man. The crown itself is very heavy, so the king will have to sit very still with his back straight. As the Queen said this, she had to be very careful not to move her head. So that sense for all of us of being crowned, being uplifted, which in astrology is Neptune. Interesting. So there is a difficulty here with Neptune and Venus. Venus is moving away from Neptune, but it's there. And that could be disillusion, disappointment in love, in relationships of all types. And I believe that there will be a lot of mixed emotions on Saturday to do with your view on what the coronation means for you. So feel that crown, get a sense of fun. Venus in Gemini is also quite fun, whatever that may be for you. Thank you for watching. I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com.